Police say it is the #1 scam in Australia, costing victims millions every year. It's known as business email compromise. And tonight, how it cost a well-known horse racing identity $100,000.
It's a beautiful car, but I don't know if I wanted to spend 200 grand on it.
Rob Heathcote is one of Australia's top racehorse trainers. All he wanted was to surprise his wife with a new car. Instead, he's the victim of an elaborate scam that cost him $100,000. How would you describe these hackers, these scammers that do this? I mean, this is...
anyone who, seeks gain out of illegal activity to the detriment of others, lock them up and throw away the key.
But it's too late. The scammers who took Rob's money are overseas and his cash was out of the country before he even knew it was gone. It's a sophisticated scam involving hackers getting between Rob here in Brisbane and the Mercedes-Benz dealership he was buying from, which is in Melbourne.
And they were very, very clever how they've manipulated what emails were coming through to me and my emails going through to Mercedes-Benz, right down to the logistics of insurance of the vehicle, the details for my wife, our driving history, all to set up this pending purchase of the car.
Because the dealership was interstate and there were so many delays on the car arriving, Rob says they communicated mostly on email. Mercedes-Benz finally advising him how much he owed and giving him the bank details to make the transfer. Rob thought to be safe, he'd go into his bank to make the payment.
The account name was Mercedes-Benz Melbourne, BSB, and the account number, and the money was duly sent. I then came back here to my office at the stables, scanned the receipts, sent it off to Mercedes-Benz in Melbourne. They sent me back an email saying, thanks very much.
But Mercedes-Benz never received Rob's cash or his emailed receipt. Instead, his money went into an HSBC account in Sydney. And the hackers, pretending to be Rob, sent a very different email to the dealership in Melbourne.
They then received an email from me. I'm sorry to say I'm doing it a little bit tough financially and I need 2 or 3 more weeks before I can pay.
So, Rob, when did you realise there was a problem?
It was nearly 5 weeks later. There was a text on my phone from Scott, the salesman from Mercedes-Benz. Rob, when can we expect payment? Well, needless to say, my heart sank.
It's not clear whose emails were hacked, but a spokesperson for Mercedes-Benz Melbourne says detailed investigation has confirmed that unauthorised access to the client's email in no way originated from Mercedes-Benz Melbourne. And if Rob was feeling sick then, he felt even worse when he contacted his bank for help and was eventually told, "Our bank does not have an insurance policy for transfers to fraudulent accounts. And we regret to advise that there are no further avenues for BOQ to assist in recovering your funds."
The question should have been asked, why is this money going to Sydney and not going to Melbourne? Let alone the mandatory security questions that I should have been asked. Robert, have you phoned and confirmed these bank details? No, I haven't. Hang on, it'll take 1 minute. And then this doesn't happen. But it did happen. I'm 100 grand out.
Rob has complained to the banking watchdog AFCA, the Australian Financial Complaints Authority, and in a statement BOQ tells us BOQ empathises with Mr Heathcote and understands this is a private customer matter currently before the Australian Financial Complaints Authority.
Bank of Queensland advised me the funds have been exhausted, and by the way, here's the number for Lifeline and Beyond Blue. I find that extraordinary, and I can only hope that the bank that made $369 million profit last year, how many people are being scammed, and pay me back the money that was stolen from me.